How do you go from selling crack on a Brooklyn street corner to dining with Warren Buffett and owning a billion-dollar empire? Jay-Z didn't just beat the odds, he redefined them. His story isn't just about music, it's about legacy, reinvention, and power. And it all started in a place most people never escape. The Marcy beginning. Sean Corey Carter was born in 1969 and raised in Brooklyn's Marcy projects, a place infamous for poverty, crime, and hopelessness. His father abandoned the family when Sean was just 11. His mother, Gloria, raised 4 children on her own, working multiple jobs and doing her best to keep her sons off the streets. But the streets had their own pull. By his teenage years, Sean was already immersed in the drug game. Crack cocaine had flooded urban America, and Jay-Z, like many young black men with few options, became a dealer. It wasn't a choice he was proud of. It was survival. But even then, he was different. He was observant, strategic, and introspective. He'd stay up writing lyrics in notebooks, rapping for hours in his building's stairwell, and developing a voice that was uniquely his. He didn't just want to rap, he wanted to win. The independent hustle. In the early 90s, Jay-Z began to get serious about music. But there was one problem. No record label wanted to sign him. They didn't think he had star power. Instead of begging for a seat at the table, he built his own. Alongside Damon Dash and Kareem Biggs Burke, Jay-Z co-founded Roc-A-Fella Records in 1995. It was a bold move, one that would change music history. That same year, he released his debut album, Reasonable Doubt. While it didn't top the charts initially, the album became a classic, filled with gritty tales of street life, business insight, and lyrical brilliance. Jay-Z wasn't just a rapper. He was a storyteller, a businessman, and a philosopher in disguise. He once said, "I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman." That mentality would carry him far beyond music. Building the brand. As Jay-Z's fame grew, so did his empire. Over the next few years, he released a string of hit albums: Volume, 2 Hard Knock Life, The Blueprint, and The Black Album, cementing his status as one of the greatest rappers of all time. But behind the scenes, he was thinking bigger. He expanded Roc-A-Fella into fashion, launching the Roc-A-Wear clothing line, which would go on to generate over $700 million in annual sales at its peak. He started investing in nightclubs, sports teams, and luxury liquor. Every move was calculated, strategic, and rooted in ownership. Jay-Z understood something few artists did. You don't just perform on the stage. You own the stage. You build the theater. He eventually sold Roc-A-Wear for $204 million. He became a part owner of the Brooklyn Nets and played a major role in moving the team to Brooklyn, helping reshape the borough he once hustled in. The comeback king. In 2003, Jay-Z did something rare in hip-hop. He retired. At the height of his fame, he walked away. But the retirement didn't last long. A year later, he became president of Def Jam Records, where he signed future superstars like Rihanna and Kanye West. And in 2006, he returned with Kingdom Come, reigniting his rap career and proving he could evolve with the times. While other rappers faded with age, Jay-Z grew more powerful. He wasn't just making music for clubs, he was writing blueprints for generational wealth. Each album became more reflective. 444, released in 2017, was a personal masterpiece, apologizing for infidelity, reflecting on financial empowerment, and urging Black excellence. It wasn't about bravado, it was about growth, marriage, and the power couple. In 2008, Jay-Z married Beyoncé, creating one of the most powerful duos in entertainment history. Their relationship, though private, became a symbol of ambition, resilience, and Black excellence. Together, they've built a media empire. Music, fashion, art, real estate, tech investments. They support each other's ventures, but also challenge each other to grow. Their joint tour, On the Run, became one of the highest grossing in history. Jay-Z once said, "Beyoncé's a machine. She's like 11 of 10. And yet, even as they dominate their industries, they never forget where they came from or who's watching." Investments, influence, and innovation. Jay-Z's true genius lies in how he used hip-hop as a launchpad, not a cage. He's invested in everything from Uber to champagne, From art to tech platforms, his company, Roc Nation, manages artists, athletes, and events. It's a one-stop empire that touches nearly every corner of culture. He launched Tidal, a streaming service aimed at giving artists more control. While it had mixed success against giants like Spotify and Apple Music, the move showed Jay's commitment to ownership and artist empowerment. In 2019, he partnered with the NFL, a controversial move that drew backlash from those who saw it as selling out. But Jay defended the deal, arguing that real change comes from having a seat at the table. He wasn't just buying bottles anymore, he was buying buildings. The Billionaire barrier. In 2019, Jay-Z officially became hip-hop's first billionaire. Not through one big hit, but through dozens of smart, disciplined investments. His portfolio included Armand de Brignac Champagne and Douce Cognac, Roc Nation, Tidal, art collections, real estate, tech startups, streaming ventures, and equity deals. He diversified the way a Wall Street titan would, with the instincts of a hustler and the insight of a mogul. But Jay didn't stop there. In 2021, he sold a 50% stake in Armand de Brignac to luxury giant LVMH, sending a loud signal. He wasn't just in the business, he was the business. He also sold a majority stake in Tidal to Jack Dorsey's Square, turning cultural capital into financial power. These moves weren't just about wealth accumulation, they were about ownership, influence, and rewriting the rules. Jay-Z was no longer climbing ladders. He was building skyscrapers, floor by floor, showing the world that a kid from Marcy projects could become a global capitalist. Without apology, giving back and growing up. As Jay-Z matured, so did his mission. He launched the Sean Carter Foundation to support education and scholarships. He supported criminal justice reform, working with Meek Mill, Van Jones, and others to launch the Reform Alliance. He quietly paid legal fees for protesters. He bailed out fathers on Father's Day. He funded documentaries on racial injustice. And through it all, he stayed relatively quiet. No grandstanding, just results. Jay-Z never forgot Marcy. He just wanted to build a world where no kid growing up there would have to go through what he did. He reinvested in Black-owned businesses, supported Black entrepreneurs, and mentored the next generation of artists and leaders. From Roc Nation to Tidal, to his partnership with the NFL, Jay-Z used his seat at the table to open more seats for others. For him, success without service was meaningless. His wealth was a tool, his story, a bridge, and his legacy, a mission still unfolding. Legacy and longevity. Today, Jay-Z is more than a rapper, more than a mogul. He's a blueprint, a case study in evolution. He's shown that art and ambition can live together, that it's possible to build wealth without losing your soul, though not without scars. He's faced betrayal, lawsuits, public backlash, and personal pain. But through it all, he adapted. He learned. He grew. He turned every setback into strategy. He made it clear that legacy isn't built on a single hit or moment. It's carved from consistent vision over decades. Jay-Z didn't just change the sound of hip-hop. He changed the structure of the business behind it. He turned artists into CEOs and lyrics into lessons. Younger generations now quote his bars like gospel and follow his blueprint for building empires. And now, with over 3 decades in the spotlight, he's still shaping culture, still influencing industries, still writing new verses on business, on power, on freedom. His legacy, not just the music, but the mindset. Jay-Z didn't just escape the trap, he rewrote the map. From the Marcy projects to the global stage, his journey is proof that legacy isn't something you inherit. It's something you build, one decision at a time. So the question isn't just, how did Jay-Z do it? It's, how are you building yours? If this story moved you, hit that like button, subscribe to Mansa Musa Mode on YouTube, and drop a comment. Which visionary should we break down next? Stay focused, stay legendary. Mansa Musa Mode, activate your empire.